I can't believe it. Just a month ago we sold our home in Europe. We had never ridden a horse before, and now these two animals belong to us, and we are ready to start discovering Mongolia in the coolest way possible. Spoiler alert, we were far from being ready for an adventure like this.
This is trouble, definitely.
Oh, it's hailstorm! The hails are like 1.5 centimeter diameter.
Another night of coughing, promise more fever. I'm just not in a shape to do this anymore.
But more about this later, because now you're probably wondering, why would anyone even consider going on such a journey? And to answer this, we need to go back about 14 months.
Some of you might remember that last year me and my partner Liisu were on a world tour with Freya, our yellow home on wheels. But a thing that we haven't really talked about before is the fact that on this journey, in perhaps one of the most unlikely places, we met the person who would change our lives forever.
So it is the late spring of 2023 and we're currently in Nepal, and with Liisu we just met Philip and heard about like one of the most craziest and coolest travel experiences ever.
The things we heard from Philip sounded more like fairy tales than real life.
It was 2018 and I basically wanted to travel to Mongolia. I decided to buy a horse. There are a lot of amazing stories that happens when you do this. It was probably the best thing I've ever done in my life so far.
He told us about wild nature and absolute solitude.
I rode 28 days through the Mongolian prairie by myself with a tent and a horse.
About endless fields and true freedom. You know, all the things that shouldn't exist in our modern and globalized world anymore.
The guy went to Mongolia and bought a horse.
But however tempting all of this sounded,
The horse ran away twice.
then we also knew that it just wasn't for us. Because neither of us had ever been on a horse before. And so, we moved on. Yet as the time passed, a strange thing happened. You see, it did not matter if we were climbing snowy mountains, were discovering hot deserts, or swam in the bluest of oceans. Because in the back of our minds, the idea of riding horses in Mongolia always remained.
Probably the best thing I've ever done in my life so far.
It had become sort of an obsession, and suddenly we knew that we would regret not going on this adventure for the rest of our lives. And so in the late spring of 2024, the preparation finally began.
It's been 1 year since that conversation in Nepal. 1 whole year, and I can't believe that our journey is 6 weeks away. We're back in Estonia now, and every person we've told about our plans have literally said that we've gone crazy, that it's impossible.
The people who doubted us definitely had a point. Because straight away, 2 big problems arose. Firstly, we all know that horses are not the cheapest animals in the world, so we quickly needed to find a way to finance this journey. And secondly, I don't even know how to say this without sounding completely insane, but 1.5 months until the due date, and still neither me nor Liisu had ever been on horseback before.
We have booked our first lesson though, so there is a little bit of hope, but like, what happens if we don't like horses or
Well, the odds were definitely against us, and the only thing we could do was to start from the very beginning.
Yes, we are headed to our first horse riding lesson, and this could go really well, or we could understand that our plan to go to Mongolia is absolutely rubbish.
I am not sure how good do I feel about having someone between my legs that has its own brain. Wait, sorry, that sounded very bad.
Well, when under stress, I'm clearly not the smoothest with my words.
What the hell? What the hell?
I meant the horse, like not the motorcycle or something like this. Sorry.
I see horses and now I'm absolutely terrified, like absolutely terrified.
We've made it here. I feel strange.
And then it began.
They are massive.
Our teachers were called Virga and Elise. They are true experts when it comes to landscape and endurance riding. But we needed to start much further back.
Fillibella.
We spent the first 90 minutes just brushing and grooming those beautiful animals, simply to get used to their presence. And on the way, we even made some unexpected friends.
Did I?
Then came the big moment.
If I fail this, we can't go to Mongolia.
For the first time in our lifetimes, we mounted a horse. It felt strange, scary, and sort of amazing all at the same time. I guess we rode for a little more than 2 hours, and then suddenly it was over.
Wow.
How do you feel after your first lesson?
I'm a little bit sore.
By the way, a little sore meant that I couldn't properly sit for 4.5 days.
Riding was actually easier than I thought, but the maintenance and connecting with a horse was way harder than I thought. It's like being a parent and a motorcycle driver at the same time. You have to get along, you have to be firm, you have to stick to your commands, but at the same time, yeah, it's an art.
While waiting for the next lesson, one by one, we started taking care of the other obstacles. First, with heavy hearts, we listed our yellow home on wheels on a car sales page. And then started ordering all the required gear for such an unpredictable adventure.
Tent, mattress, rain weather clothes, sleeping bag. This is gonna be a lifeline. Portable camping solar panel.
And friends, if you would also like to own high-quality travel gear that you can truly rely on in the toughest of conditions,
Without a doubt, the best thing I brought along on this journey are those boots.
then make sure to check out our webpage, because during this month only, everything in our store will be 10% off if you use the code August10 at checkout. And of course, after receiving the gear, we also found ways to put it to good use.
I'm gathering evidence. If Liisu's mom sees that the floor is buggered.
No, I don't mean like this, but more like this.
Ready for horses? As you saw, riding a horse clearly doesn't come easy for us. There's a long way to go there, but we can't go unprepared. So for the next 3 days, we're gonna be on a bike hike, testing out our gear and yeah, getting the first feel of staying in a tent, living the life on the road. Now just imagine that this bike is a horse.
I would like it, because then there would be somebody else doing all the work instead of me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Liisu does not think that anymore.
Cha! Let's go. Cha! 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 Okay, we are not going.
We did everything in our power to prepare ourselves for the journey ahead.
How are you? It's been a week. It's been a week.
And during the second riding lesson, we already started to realize what it actually means to ride a horse. Yes, it still definitely did not look good. But at least We were progressing. Oh, and after this lesson, it only took me 2 days to be able to properly sit again. Even on our date night, we decided to cook food on a live fire and sleep in a tent.
Hey Liisu, what's your favorite date?
Going into the nature, just the two of us. Swimming, camping, making food on the fire, maybe making some music.
Mine is around June 20th, because that's the longest day of the year.
Time really seems to disappear when you are working towards a clear goal. But even after a month of intense preparation, neither of our big problems still had an answer. But this was all about to change when on one late afternoon we received a call from a young and adventurous Estonian woman. For us, it meant a hard goodbye.
I honestly don't know what to feel. I'm happy and sad at the same time, but I'm more happy, I think, because Irma is gonna be the new owner of Freya, and I'm sure they both have so many cool adventures ahead of them.
We tried our best to see the positive in this.
Crazy. She's gonna have so much fun without us. Freya and Irma as well.
End of an era.
Because being able to sell our home meant that at least financially we were now ready for the road ahead. Just a few days later, it was also time for our third and final riding lesson.
Every time I come here and see the 20 horses running around, it feels a little bit weird.
This time Elisa took us far from the stables, into a warm and sunny forest.
Just look at that forest. That's why I love Estonia in the summer. Pine trees, cranberries, blueberries on the ground.
And the emotions we got from here were simply out of this world.
Okay, it's such an amazing feeling.
Touch of wind, the sounds and smells.
I thought I could never ever be a horse boy, but half an hour in a forest. Howdy. And holy crap, it's just so amazing.
After hours in the forest, one of the last things our teachers told us was how they admired our bravery. Because although they had decades of experience, then they still wasn't sure if they could handle weeks of taking care of themselves and 2 horses in a foreign country with no one around when things go wrong.
The thing that still makes me a little bit cautious is the fact that everybody who knows about these things, about horses and riding and stuff, say that they would never do this.
The face of confidence. Are we professionals?
Absolutely not.
Can we handle ourselves? Probably not. But do we have more time for training?
Zero.
I barely have memories of the following days. Everything sort of just happened so fast. You know, the intense packing, pre-travel panic,
Super stressed.
and all the usual insecurities that go together with doing things way out of your comfort zone.
Better not go, because I'm so stressed.
Even the long flight from Europe to Mongolia. I can only recall thanks to the few videos we took along the way. Yet looking back on it now, I can clearly remember the moment when my mind once again became sharp. It happened on the very next morning.
Time to leave the comfort of the hotel room behind. And outside should be a car waiting for us. Sainu, hello.
Finally, the 14 months of waiting had come to an end.
Just thousands of horses everywhere.
Because this car was taking us deep into Mongolian steppe. to a place where our horses were already waiting for us.
And we made it! Yay! 3, 4, 5.
Then tower will be here.
Is this the most money I've handed over in my life?
Eat, sleep, train, repeat. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Worst thing is that it's far from the most painful place on my body. Push, push, push.